Okay, here's part 2 on animal body language for Safe Snuffles 101. In the first episode, I talked about dogs and what they're trying to tell you with their body language. Today, I'm going to be talking about cats and what they're trying to tell you with their body language. As I said in the first episode, body language is a way of communicating without actually using words or sounds. This is the main way that animals communicate because they obviously cannot talk. So this is how they tell other animals, other cats or other dogs, and particularly people as well who understand what it is that they're feeling and possibly thinking. So this is very important to understand. So today I'm going to be talking about cats. And this is our first picture. This is kind of your regular run-of-the-mill happy cat. He's content, possibly playful, and he is approachable. If you see a cat that has this kind of demeanor, then he might be wanting to be petted. His head is up, his ears are forward, and his tail, most importantly, is up. One of the most important features of a cat is their tail. Their tail can really tell a lot. And in this picture, it's up, and it's in this little question mark figure, and that means that he's content. There's nothing really that's in the immediate surroundings that's threatening him or making him feel worried, so he's ready to go. So if you're somewhere with a cat and it looks walking around like that, ask the owner, ask your mom if you can pet it. Some cats can be, it's not to harp on cats, but some cats can be a little bit more finicky about pets than dogs are. A lot of dogs will really kind of relish the idea of getting pets, but not all cats like that. And you can overstimulate a cat pretty quickly if you are petting it. So what I like to do with cats, and I do this with my own cat, is just like with dogs, especially unfamiliar dogs, is you let them come to you first. So a lot of times I just kind of hold out my hand, and I let the cat come to me. And I do that with my cat too, because he likes to rub up on me, on my hand, and kind of show me where he wants to be petted. He might rub it and put his head here, so I'm scratching behind his ear, or up on his head, so I'm scratching on his forehead. So I like to hold out my cat and let it rub on me, and usually that kind of indicates that he's accepted you and wants you to pet him. I do that at the place where I volunteer too. I'll hold my little fingers out, and the cat a lot of times will rub up against it, and I'll scratch it through the cage. So that's kind of just my tip about petting cats. So this, like I said, is a friendly cat, and he is very approachable. So the next cat I'm going to show you is kind of your cliche Halloween cat. And we've all seen those Halloween decorations where the cat and the witch are flying on the broomsticks or whatever, and the cat's all like, "Meow!" And the tail is up, and the back is all spiky, and the cat's hissing and all that stuff. Well, that's what this is, a little Halloween cat. But what this means is that the cat is angry. He's angry and he's irritated, he's agitated by something. You can tell that by his stance. His back is arched and his tail is up. There are two different types of Halloween type cat poses. This is the first one, and in this one the tail is up. And as you can see in the picture, his back hair and his tail are like poofed out. All of his hairs are sticking up. And that is to make himself appear larger. So he's trying to make himself appear a little bit more threatening to whatever it is that he thinks is challenging it. And so that's the biggest indication of this type of anger and possibly fear. Beyond that, his ears might be back a little, and that might show that he's overstimulated or a little aggressive and angry towards something. So if you see a cat that looks like this, or if you come around the corner and the cat jumps like this, leave it alone. It might need some time to warm up to you. Or there might be something else going on in the environment that you don't know of. So leave the cat alone. He would like some space right now. My cat used to do this sometimes when we first brought him home and he met my dog for the first time. And they get along fine. They're best buds. And they never had any like arguments or anything. But every so often the dog would startle him and he'd get up into this pose and he'd scamper off. And so this can be common for a cat to spike his hair up and everything. The next cat is kind of the other Halloween type cat. So as you can see, he's still kind of in the same stance. His back is arched. His hair is standing up and his tail hair is poofy. But the difference is that his tail is down. So this is showing a little bit more fear rather than anger. Again, the cat still isn't approachable. He's scared, and just like with dogs, any angry or scared cat can become aggressive, and you don't want that. So the ears are flat against his head, and that's showing fear and defensiveness. So this cat might be ready to strike, and he's telling you, please leave me alone. So if you see a cat like this, just give it some time. He might warm up to you, or he might feel comfortable to come out. So this is Halloween cat number 2, and he is a scared cat. The next cat I'm going to show you is more of like an angry looking cat. So here he is. The 2 last ones that I showed you, the 2 Halloween cats, or any cat for that matter, particularly those, can kind of escalate into this. So if the cat doesn't know you, if he's scared of something, angry about something, feeling territorial, he might become a little bit aggressive. And this is kind of what you're going to see in an aggressive cat. Again, his ears are still down or back. His lips are curled a little bit like the dog, and he's showing his teeth. And he might be growling at you or hissing at you to kind of show you, I feel threatened, and I'm trying to tell you to back off. And so if you see a cat like this, if a cat starts hissing at you or growling at you, you need to back off. And some cats will give you a warning hiss before they strike, and they might even give you a warning pat with their paws. Whether or not they are declawed or not, they might still give you that pat, and even if they still have their claws, they may not necessarily use those, because they're still trying to just show off a warning, like I could strike if I wanted to. And then if you don't back off, if the cat does have claws, he might scratch you, or even worse yet, he might bite you. It's much more worse to get bit by a cat than get scratched by a cat. So if you see a cat displaying any of these behaviors, please leave the cat alone. And if you're at somebody else's house interacting with somebody else's cat, make sure you tell them the cat may not be happy right now. And they're going to, like a dog, they're going to know their cat better than anybody, and they'll know what to do either to make it feel better, or if it's something that's kind of out of the ordinary and needs to be brought attention to. So that's an angry, aggressive looking cat. So again, leave it alone. The next cat I'm going to show you is a cat that's lying on its back. So a lot of times when we see dogs lying on its back, it's kind of an invitation to go pet its belly. That's not necessarily the case for cats. A lot of times people see a cat lying on its back and think it's an invitation to come pet. It's just like when the cat wags its tail. A lot of times they think that the cat is happy. That may not necessarily be true, and this may not be a cat that wants to be petted. This does show some trust, especially if he's purring. He's showing that he trusts you and he's relaxed with you. And he's showing his most vulnerable area, which is his stomach. But again, don't give him reason not to trust you, and don't go in and, kitty, kitty, kitty. Other times it might show that, especially if he's growling, that he is feeling agitated by something. So a lot of times when my cat does this, I might come up and pet him on the head or something, but then I just let him be there, and I like to look at how cute he is, because it's just so cute when my cat does this. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, because a lot of people see that and think, oh, that's so cute. And when they go to rub his stomach, the cat bites them or scratches at them and stuff. It's not necessarily an invitation to pet. It's more of an invitation a lot of times to say, I trust you and I like you. The last picture I'm going to show you isn't necessarily of a cat pose as it is of, I wanted to kind of show you the cat's tail. The cat's tail to me is like so amazing, because they have so many little bones in their tail that they can make their tail do almost anything, like curl up into a little ball if they wanted to, just like that. Or sometimes I'll see my cat sitting and looking at the window, and just the very tip of his tail is flickering. And it's just so crazy, because sometimes the tail is big wagging, it's up, it's in the little curved question mark, sometimes it's doing this. And it's very important to understand each of these little entities. So as I already said before, a lot of times a cat might be wagging its tail. If it's looking outside, or if it's sitting on the couch next to you and you're starting to pet it a lot, and the tail starts to wag, it doesn't necessarily mean that the cat is happy. It more likely means that the cat is becoming a little agitated. He's being annoyed possibly by something, irritated by something. So it's not necessarily happiness as we would think when we look at a dog's tail. So if you see that, maybe you leave your cat alone if you're petting it. Stop petting the cat for a little bit. He might be getting a little overstimulated. Another part about the cat's tail is sometimes just the very end of it flickers. And when just the very end of it flickers, that might show that the cat is interested interested in something. Like we talked about the alert dog in the last episode, this might be showing that the cat is alert to something. A lot of times when my cat's sitting on his perch looking out the window, his little tail will flicker at the end because he might see a bird walking by or a squirrel walking by, and he's focused on it. So his little tail at the very, very end flickers. And so that might show a little bit of distractedness and focused. So that might show that he's trying to figure out something. He's trying to figure out, what is that I'm looking at? Is it a threat? Is it okay? How do I feel about this? So that's kind of what the little tiny flicker means at the end. And the last couple of things I'm going to talk to you about a cat's body language, because of how they interact with you. We all know that dogs, their tails wag. This just seems common knowledge. And they come and lick your face when they like you. They're giving you lots of kisses and everything. But not a lot of people really understand some of the cat body language that they do for us. And so I'm going to talk about some of those right now, 2 of them. The massaging and the rubbing. So the massaging, you will see when the cat comes up to you and is like massaging you. It looks like he's kneading on you. That's a good thing. He is super relaxed. He's content to be with you. And he's kind of channeling his inner kitten. Cats will do that. Kittens will do that to stimulate the milk inside their mother when they're nursing. And so he's kind of going back to that content, oh, I'm a little kitten with my mom, type of thing. So a lot of times my cat will do that when we're all laying on the couch or early in the morning. Just likes to knead on us, and it's very sweet. The other thing that a lot of cats do is rubbing on you. We all kind of see that when we interact with a cat. They like to walk by our legs and rub on our legs, and a lot of us might be like, he's trying to kill me, he's trying to trip me. But no, he's rubbing his scent on you. Our cat does it, and your cat probably does it too. Rubs around everything. He rubs along our couch, along our chairs, along our tables. He even rubs my dog sometimes. And when we come home from work, he's always rubbing on us. He's rubbing on my coat and on my purse. And that's to put his scent on it, because he wants to show the world that he owns that and he owns you. And that's great, because if he's showing that he owns you, it means he loves you. And he wants to show the world that you are his. You belong to him. And so it's a good thing. If the cat's always rubbing on you, he's trying to make sure it's known to the world that he loves you and that you belong to him and nobody else. So take that as a good thing when the cat's rubbing on you next time. So that's my second video on body language. The first one was on dog body language. This one obviously was on cat body language. So if you have any questions about either of the 2 videos, put it in the comment section. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share the video. I really want to just get my mission out there and understanding our animals a little bit better. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.